People, Deluded, I'm back again, out and about in my lunch break. People, I've actually lost my original footage too in regards to, better yet, the Under-17s World Cup. You know me, I love to watch youth football. I must admit, this was a tough competition for me because I didn't get to watch it as extensively as I would have liked to have hoped. A lot of the games, because of the time difference, was when it was on in Brazil, I was either at work or just physically tired, people. And I must admit, because of obviously my new role that I got a few months ago, I am being very stretched for time, and it's hurting me personally that I can't scrutinise these competitions to the amount I wanted to, man. So I didn't get to watch the tournament as extensively as I could, but it was a bit of a weird tournament. Obviously, Brazil had a good campaign and them young players. Potential is just potential. The reality is all these players at this stage have potential. When they progress up the levels, a lot of them fall by the wayside, and I'm sure you've seen that with a number of Brazilian sides, people. But I mean, what, Under-17s is still a World Cup, and in their home nation they were able to retain the title, and I mean that's an incredible achievement, really and truly. However old you are, I mean 16, 17, maybe some of them even 15. Expectations, all these dogs are going at it. Speed. But yeah, like I said, the expectation levels to obviously national pride, obviously the fans, it's a good experience and it was nice. Obviously the typical nations were always there. The French have great players, as you've seen at the Euros. Aouchiche, I'm not even going to spend too much time on him. I think he got like 7 assists this tournament. PSG's made his debut this season. I'm not sure if he signed a professional contract, but if there's any sniff of Arsenal getting him or any club getting him off PSG books, they've got to take it. I think he's got a lot of potential. A lot of the French players have potential. What's that young lad? I can't remember his name, people, but I'll put it in the description. There's one guy that Juventus just signed, defensive mid. France have a lot of good talent, man. France have a lot of good talent. The Dutch have a lot of good talent. The Spaniards have a lot of good talent. Whether you're watching the Under-17s Euros or the World Cup like now, you know about the usual suspects. I was very impressed with Nigeria and Angola as well, people. Is it Zito? Like I said, I didn't get to watch these nations as much as I would have liked, but Zito, it's easy to see why he's been linked with West Ham and Manchester United. Obviously you had, so we might as well just start with, this is what I should have said last, but the best of the rest, man. I liked Yohan Mina. I believe he plays for Ecuador and he scored 3 against Chile. I didn't really see much, but purely on the basis of the fact that he's 15. Fernando Ovela, he's 15 playing in this tournament. Unova had an okay tournament, probably disappointing by his own standards for the Dutch. Agume, obviously formerly of Sontje, now of Inter Milan, so we can't get him. I was impressed with the Japanese as well. And there's a player called Tijane, I believe, central midfield, defensive midfield, Nigeria. I was very impressed with him. So there was a lot of good talent, people. Let's start with Argentina. I think Godai was all right. It's easy to see why Barcelona have been looking at him. I wouldn't say he set the world alight, but he was okay. Zaballos caught my eye. He plays in his homeland. I watched the 0-0 Spain against Argentina, the first group stage. Very positive down the left-hand flank. Wants to take his man on continuously. From the Dutch, I really liked Taylor. Like I've already mentioned, Unova, Jaden Barth was okay. I really like Melando Bogrande. I can't say his name, but he's obviously of Hoffenheim now, and he's been chased since 15, 16 years of age by the top 6 in England and obviously the big European clubs. Mohamed Tebboune done all right as well. I really like Taylor, Kenneth Taylor, I believe his name is, in the central midfield. Easy to see why he's Dutch captain. Happy to let other players shine, people, in that regards. So yeah, man, obviously I think I've mixed up Argentina and Holland, but we might as well carry on with Holland. I was impressed by Unova, Taylor, like I said, Bogande, Tobani. Hansen obviously finished as the competition's top goal scorer. A lot of good goals, a lot of important strikes for his nation as well. Did Holland play France? They might have played France, but there was a game, I think semi-finals between France, and they messed up. France dropped a 2-goal lead, and it was an interesting tournament. I think Hansen will make his Ajax debut this season, if fingers crossed. I think he's a very exciting prospect, and with today's football, obviously Ajax might face a fight to keep hold of him. Now it would make sense for him to stay at Ajax because it seems there's a pathway there, versus we've seen many players go Ajax. Arsenal's very own Daniel Marlon, he left his homeland and he returned to his homeland and is starring for PSV. It's different, but France, Jeffrey Adley left young, didn't play in the Arsenal team, and is now making headlines to a fair degree in his homeland in France, playing for Lyon. Obviously he's not being amazing, but you get the point. sorry for making that mistake, people, but going back to Argentina, I was impressed by Zaballos, like I said. Palacios looked decent in the central midfield, and I've already mentioned Godai. From Brazil, I was impressed with Patrick, I believe his name is, the fullback. There was obviously Gabriel Veron. He won the best player of the tournament. He scored a lot of goals. He can assist. He can play up front as well as on the flanks. He's probably long-term a winger. Can play in as a 10. And it's easy to see why he was one of the players people were saying to watch prior to the tournament. And definitely is going to be on a lot of people's lips moving forward in the tournament because it's there. I like Lazario. I feel he scored a couple of important strikes despite not being a forward player for Brazil. Caio Jorge, forgive me if I'm wrong, plays up front. Heard his name before, and this was a real time to really get myself to get a look of him, and I like him. I think he's all right. Is it Jan Bruno Couto? I can't say his name, but the right back, I felt he was decent from Brazil, a Brazilian perspective. So Brazil had a number of good players. Their keeper was okay. Brazil had a couple of good players, and like I said, I wish I could have watched it under the microscope a bit more. From France, I've already mentioned France, but they've got a gold-minded talent. I liked Kouossi, Adil, I already like him, as you lot know. Elaji, I feel he did all right. That's his name, Ahamada. He plays for Inter Milan, Juventus now, people. And also I liked Mbuku from France. I've made a video on him before and spoke of him before. I liked Shish Habubu. I'm going to put that in the description as well, people. I can't say that name, but he's a defender now of Saint Etienne, young lad. Hardly set the world alight, but just from being a young lad and playing for Saint Etienne, he's someone that's going to be on my radar. Again, people, forgive me for the mispronunciations. I am very sorry for that. It's very unprofessional on my part. From a Spanish perspective, Spain probably had a disappointing tournament, but the usual suspects, Torrientes, Escobar, Moreno, Ilax, the young black guy that plays for Barcelona, Navarro, Aitor Gilando. Yeah, man, they're littered with talent, people. It was bait, to be fair with you. From a Mexican perspective as well, I also liked, is it Puzuto? And I also liked, I believe he plays in the MLS, Efran Alvarez. Obviously, he was someone people were saying to look at. Plays for Galaxy, believe. MLS, he's very good, very technical base player, people. He scored a free kick, I believe, in the tournament. It's easy to see why, and obviously I've got a bit of a bias against MLS talents, but if he's shining for his country at this youth level, he seems to be someone to watch in the MLS. He could be someone for Mexican fans to get excited about in regards to their long-term talent pool at first team level, people. I would have liked to have watched more of the Italians, so I didn't really watch a lot of the Italians to really come here and say things, but for me, Adil was one to watch. Hansen was a player of the tournament, and for me, the player of the tournament was Gabriel Veron. I believe him and Adil are two players Arsenal should be looking to get like yesterday, people. But that's just me personally. There's a whole bunch of other players that I missed and whatnot, and that's the beauty of it. Like I said, it was a disappointing tournament for me personally because I would have liked to have watched it. Just watched it more intensively, but I can only comment on what I see. And you lot know me, I love football at all levels, specifically youth talent. So this was just my 5 pence on the tournament, and yeah, man, this is the content I like to do the most, even though it's not necessarily my heavily watched. But yeah, people, I'm out and about. I think my lunch break is finished, so I'm gonna get out of here. People, Deluded. Apologies for the background noises and anything else that disturbed your viewing experience. Forgive me, I can't control it, and I don't have time to do this video again because I lost it. I'm out.